Hello and welcome back to another flight review. Today I'm flying with Qantas to London in economy class. Although I'm flying in economy today, platinum frequent flyers are able to use the first class check-in and lounge. After a relatively quick immigration process, it was time for me to head to the Qantas first class lounge. The first class lounge definitely has one of the best views in the entire airport, looking over the main runway. I went and found a decent seat, and proceeded to order some food. I went with the grass-fed cheeseburger, and proceeded to finish off with the lounge's signature pavlova. The view from the lounge offers some great plane spotting views. Here is a Qantas 7879 in its special Aboriginal livery. This is a Jaiman Air 787-8, apologies if I'm mispronouncing that name. This here is a Cathay Pacific Cargo 747-8. This was a particularly good shot I got of a Singapore Airlines A380 taking off and an Atlas Air 747 landing. The flight was delayed a couple times due to some maintenance issues, and we departed an hour behind schedule. Eventually our plane did finish going through maintenance, and I could see it getting tugged over to our gate. This is the aircraft taking me to London today, a Qantas Airbus A380. Shortly after the plane made it to the gate, it was time for boarding. The flight today was departing from gate 8. Yeah, we did. It was finally then time to board the aircraft. My seat today was at the very back of the bottom deck of the aircraft. My seat for the trip is 86A, which is the final row in economy. It's great because I can recline my seat without having to deal with the guilt of reclining into the person behind me. The seat recliner is perfectly feasible. It's nothing too major, but I wasn't expecting much anyway. Eventually, it was time to push back and begin our first leg of the journey to Singapore. The flight time to Singapore would be about 7 hours and 50 minutes. After a rather long taxi, it was finally time to take off. As you'll see in the takeoff footage, it was a bit of a bumpy takeoff, however, it was nothing too major. in-flight entertainment had quite a lot of options and definitely kept me entertained throughout both legs of the journey. The backseat TV allows for a touchscreen and also has a media remote to control it. The options are pretty good, and I did find a lot of enjoyable things to watch. Unfortunately, there wasn't a flight map available on this leg of the journey, however from Singapore to London it did become available. In economy, noise-cancelling headphones aren't provided. These ones aren't terrible, but they did feel a bit cheap. Here's a closer look at the legroom available. I was travelling with a backpack, so the lighter you travel, the more room you'll have. As the sun began to set over Australia, I got some great shots of the desert. By the time they got to me, all the economy meals were out, so I did manage to get one of the premium economy meals. This was the vegetarian option, and it was fine, but it really wasn't what I was hoping for, so I didn't eat much of it. I began to see thunderstorms forming over in the horizon. As we approached Singapore, they did hand out a snack before landing, which was a chicken, cheese, and onion sandwich, which was rather nice. Soon after this, we did begin our landing into Singapore. Now, for some reason, the cabin crew didn't dim the lights for landing, so the majority of what you're going to see here in these clips is my reflection. Once we were in Singapore, we only really had about 45 minutes of a stopover, so I decided I'd make my way to the Qantas First Class Lounge in Singapore. I didn't have much time to show things off here because like 10 minutes after I sat down it was time to board once again. Our flight was delayed a bit because European airspace was very busy and we're waiting for clearance to get in, so we did end up sitting at the gate for a good half an hour. One of the great features of the A380 is that it has a tail camera, which allows you to see the full exterior of the aircraft and is really good to watch during takeoff and landing. Once again, it was time for takeoff, and once again the cabin lights weren't dimmed, so more reflective footage unfortunately. Now at this time it was probably around 2 AM Australian time, so I was incredibly tired, and very shortly after takeoff I collapsed into my seat. woke up about 6.5 hours later, and it wasn't a very comfortable sleep. I didn't really enjoy it. The seat was fine, it was just kinda hard not being able to lie down. At the time, we were flying over the Middle East, and I got some great shots of multiple cities. This here is Abu Dhabi, although I'm on the wrong side to be able to see the full city. Here you can see Doha over the horizon. This here is Kuwait City, which is the capital of the nation of Kuwait. This is Baghdad, which is the capital city of Iraq. As we approached mainland Europe, the sunrise could finally become visible in the horizon. Breakfast was finally served. There was a choice of a hot and a cold option. I went with the hot one, which included scrambled eggs, bacon, potatoes, yogurt, and a muffin. I had tea, and it was definitely the best meal of the flight. Further into the flight, I could see the Alps starting to come into the view, and it was definitely some of the best views during the entire flight. European airspace is always very busy, so if you look closely outside your window, you might be able to see another plane flying. Like I did here. We finally started to begin our approach into Britain, and my god, the views outside the window were nothing short of incredible. From the snow and the sunrise, this is definitely one of the best landings I've ever had, so please sit back and enjoy a snowy descent into Heathrow. to put music over landing because there were so many crying kids. Honestly, it was like they're having a competition with each other. As we were taxiing to our gate, I got this great shot of the British Airways Concorde. After an over 20-hour-long journey, it was finally time for us to pull into our gate at Terminal 3 of Heathrow. Overall, I'm happy with Qantas's quality on board their aircraft. The crew were very friendly and persistent throughout the entire flight.
Cabin crew, disarm doors and cross-check.
Overall, it was a decent flight. Although I didn't sleep well and some of the meals weren't up to my fancy, I did enjoy it, and it's really good to be back here in England. Overall, I would fly on Qantas again, and if you are looking to take this route in economy, it's certainly not the worst choice. Anyways, thank you for watching.
Thank you.